Today, I'm going to rank every single Fujifilm film simulation based on what I think from my experience shooting with Fuji. Disclaimer, this list will be highly subjective as it's just my personal ranking and opinion. Yours will vary. Also, this is just a basic ranking list. If you want a full breakdown of every Fujifilm film simulation, go to the video I made a few months ago. Link up above. We'll also be doing this in a random order. Let's begin. Classic negative. Classic negative is a solid one. This is probably one of my top most used film simulations. I like it because the look is very unique and stand out, and not in a bad way. Personally, I like the tones, it's got a very strong contrast, the greens have a nice hue to them, and browns and reds look nice as well. From A to C, I'd probably give Classic negative an A. I definitely recommend trying it out if you haven't yet. Eterna Bleach Bypass. Eterna Bleach Bypass is one of those interesting film simulations I've never personally gotten a handle on. To me, it looks like a washed out Classic negative or a slightly colorful monochrome. It's an interesting film simulation, although I can't honestly say I like it that much. Most of the times, I'll default to something else because the look doesn't suit most situations. There are people that seem to like it though. I'm giving it a C. Pro negative. Pro negative is a film simulation I'm slowly warming up to. Due to its similarities with Classic Chrome, I don't often use it because I prefer Classic Chrome. But I have mentioned in a recent article, Tired of Classic Chrome, where I've been using Pro negative as an alternative. It's got a similar rendition but handles colors differently. Colors don't default to the cool blue of Classic Chrome, and I found it useful if they're too flat or the wrong hue. It's honestly been growing on me a lot in recent months. I'm giving it a B. Reala Ace. Reala Ace is a pretty cool film simulation. I mentioned in my recent Reala Ace video how I wasn't all that excited for this one when it was first released, but I've been shooting and editing a lot of photos with it and it's actually pretty good. Colors are nice, blues and greens especially, shadows and midtones are a bit lifted, and it's got a very provia look without being provia. Definitely one of the better standard color film simulations. I'd give it an A- or a B+, just because for me, it's not as good as Classic negative, but it's up there. Velvia Vivid. Velvia can be a hit or miss film simulation. I used to never really understand it until I began using it for sunset photography, where its vibrancy and color couldn't be matched. For me, Velvia tends to be situational, and I only really use it in abstract or sunset photography, although I know some people have figured out ways to make it work. Because of that, I find it a bit more niche, and it doesn't apply to every scenario, but it's really good in the right ones. It's a B for me. Monochrome. Monochrome is challenging to rank because depending on the photographer you are, you could love it or care less about it. For Fuji, it's really just a standard black and white film simulation, and I actually really like black and white. But my preferred film simulation for black and white is acros, so monochrome doesn't get much use unless I'm using an older Fuji. But despite that, it's still solid and standard, tones are more balanced, and you can't go wrong with it. B tier for me. Astia Soft. Astia is another situational film simulation I sometimes struggle with. It's decent, but I'm not the biggest fan and typically only use it on older Fuji cameras. Blues and yellows tend to really pop with Astia, making it great if you want to bring those colors out. Tones are a little flatter, hence the soft, and colors are close to provia in terms of saturation and vibrancy. There are people who really like it, but I honestly only use it sometimes. B tier. Acros. Acros is the black and white film simulation I default to, particularly because of its tones. As opposed to standard black and white profiles, Acros has a stronger and higher tonality, making for more drama and intensity. It's also got a solid film grain, especially if you add it in camera. I personally love the Acros look, particularly for normal everyday photography, because it just makes everything look more epic. Again, I'm biased because this is one of my favorite film simulations. A tier. Eterna. When it comes to video, I shoot everything in Eterna. Eterna is kind of a muted midway between a semi-log color profile and a standard one. It looks good on its own, but has the room and flexibility to edit and add color and tonality. I think it looks great for video, but don't often use it for photography. This is simply because there's a lot of extra work to do to bring its baseline to something normal, and I just prefer the other film simulations more. but it could be great if you're just looking for something flatter and lighter. It could also be a great base for custom film simulation recipes, although I've yet to explore that area much. B tier. Provia Standard. Provia is Fuji's standard color film simulation, and honestly, I don't like it that much. It just feels a bit basic and boring compared to the other looks, and I know, that's the point. But I will say I've come around to it more in recent months. It gives a lot more color and normalcy to certain images that appear too empty and works as a safe general aesthetic to edit in. And like reala and astia, it's a great alternative if I feel like I need a little more color or a stabler base for my images. It's not my preference, but there are a lot of people who seem to like it. B tier. Sepia. Sepia is a look that doesn't get enough love, and it's easy to see why. Originally, there was a functional use for sepia. It preserved and made photographs more archival, but not many people use it anymore because it's not as needed. Similarly, it's not really in fashion. Sepia is often associated with timelessness, as many of the older photos you've seen in sepia are, well, old. I'm not saying it can't be done though. Definitely, there's a lot of room for exploration with anything in photography. I just think color is the big thing right now and will be for a good long while. C. Classichrome. Classichrome, as many of you know, is my favorite film simulation. It's not perfect, and I must admit I've run into many of its limitations that hold me back in some way. Skin tones aren't always the right hue, saturation can be difficult because of its mutedness, and the look isn't for everyone. But for the most part, I think it's pretty damn good. Solid shadows give a decent contrast, while slightly bright highlights makes things shine a bit more. Combined with this sway to the blue and teal, and a cooler white balance, and you've got a great look for street or documentary photography. It's highly versatile and can be used for most things, especially for making custom film recipes. A, if not A+. Nostalgic negative. Finally, the nostalgic negative film simulation. This one I was very excited for, although I ended up being fairly disappointed. It's nothing on the film simulation itself though, just my own expectations. Nostalgic negative is characterized by amber brown highlights, a slight lift in the shadows, and some blue in there as well. It's a decent look, although not suitable for everything, especially not cold or rainy days. Bright sunny days tends to be where nostalgic negative shines, although you might prefer other film simulations for those cases. I think it's a fun one, although sometimes the colors aren't my favorite. B for me. So that was my Fujifilm film simulation tier list. What do you think? Did it match yours? Let me know your own personal tier list in the comments down below. And if you want to learn more about improving your photography, shoot more, and stress less, check out Photography Systems. If you're looking for something foundational, check out Photography Essentials first. It's free. And be sure to grab any of the new merch, zines, and prints in the shop. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Happy shooting. Peace.